My entire personal and professional life rests on 7 simple tools. Okay, let's talk productivity tools. Over the course of my life here on this channel, I have talked about a number of productivity tools, so I think I'm qualified to make some recommendations. The 7 tools I am talking about in this video will span both analog and digital systems. And most of you guys know for digital, I am usually an Apple-only girly, but I will be recommending some Android alternatives or cross-platform apps just in case you are an Android user as well. Okay, let's get into my favorite productivity tools. Okay, so the first one I want to talk about is my calendar. Now, I have Google Calendar up here, but I also use Google Calendar interchangeably with Apple Calendar. So depending on your preference, Android, Apple, whatever, I just use the basic built-in calendar app because it works across all the devices that I use. So I'm showing Google Calendar here, but I also use Apple Calendar. And this one is pretty straightforward. Let me tell you, I cannot believe how many people ask me for productivity advice only to tell me that they don't have a calendar app. It's insane. A calendar app is just like the foundation of a productivity system to me. So without it, my life would certainly crumble. This is a sample week in my life in my Google Calendar. And you can see right here, I'm using Danielle Collada's TX3 system. So if you want a video on that, I actually already have one. I will leave it linked up in the cards about how I have set this up and how I'm using her system. But basically, the basic built-in calendar app is a #1 productivity tool for me. And it's because you can do so much with it. You can move things around, you can reschedule, you can invite people, you can build different calendars. It's just so flexible and so necessary. Another calendar tool I absolutely love and could not live without is my wall calendar. I use it for YouTube. It's actually right behind you guys where I'm filming right now. So we are going to take a little field trip and go check it out. Okay, this is the wall calendar, and it is one of those sticker wall calendars. You could just get them on Amazon. I think we got this for like 10 bucks or something, and it came with 2. Ordinarily, you would do normal wall calendar things with this, like having the days of the week up at the top and having the days of the month in the little boxes. But instead, what we have done is we have made this side February, this side March, or we have this side be the current month and this side be the future month. And then we plan out videos accordingly. So let me zoom in and show you what the videos actually look like. This is basically a really good example of like what we have for each video each week. So we have the video that we are publishing on that day, and then the sponsor attached to that. What's Up Magic Mind? We'll talk about them a little bit in a second. And then we have the sort of operations that we are doing that week. So video on the blue sticky note, sponsor on the yellow sticky note, and then we have business meetings every month. So we're doing a business meeting for April in the first week of March, and then we have what days we are filming, and then on those filming sticky notes, we'll have like what videos we are filming. So for example, this is last month, a section from last month, and on those filming sticky notes, we were filming like goal videos and productivity app videos and stuff like that. And then these little blue sticky notes are basically as needed what I'm gonna be doing. So on March 9th, I'm gonna be scripting a bunch, and that's exciting. And then over here in the last column, we have ideas. Let me know if you like either of these 2 ideas for videos, how to reframe failure or more info on the wall calendar. But basically this is what keeps the YouTube ship running. It all rests on this little guy right here. And I love her. It may look messy, but it is so nice to have all of my YouTube stuff planned out in one centralized location. Another recent productivity tool that I have been using is this little guy. This is Magic Mind. Magic Mind is a mental performance shot designed to help you think better and faster. Magic Mind actually reached out to me a few months ago and sent me a few shots to try, and so far I'm actually a huge fan. To be honest, I am usually pretty skeptical of stuff like this, but I have been using Magic Mind for the past 7 days straight now, and it has had a pretty big impact on my productivity. So often, drinks like this actually make me really jittery and anxious. But Magic Mind is pretty light on the caffeine, and the caffeine that is included in the drink is specially formulated to slow release over time, so you don't get that like burst of caffeine where you're suddenly shooting into the sun instead of actually being productive. Plus, the included included mushrooms, vitamins, and minerals provide a clear-headed focus that you will just never get from an energy drink. Magic Mind's formula has been in the works for 10 years now, and every ingredient is backed by medical professionals and scientific research. Their unique blend of matcha, mushrooms, and other vitamins and minerals is not like anything else you'll see out there, mostly because they have tweaked it dozens of times to perfection. A lot of people take Magic Mind in the morning with their morning caffeine, but I actually really like it as an afternoon pick-me-up. I've talked a lot about the afternoon slump on this channel, and it is one of the hardest parts of the day for me. But after downing a Magic Mind, I'm able to have a productive and focused afternoon. You can down it straight from the bottle or pour it over ice, put it in a glass with another drink. Sometimes I like to add a bit of milk. One thing you'll see a lot online is that greater stress equals greater productivity, but that is just not true. Magic Mind is built around providing energy without it coming at the cost of your mental health. We love that. So if any of this sounds up your alley, head to the link in my description or go to magicmind.com/theory and use my code theory20 for up to 56% off your first order of Magic Mind for the next 10 days. That 56% is a very specific, just like all the ingredients in Magic Mind. You know, I am hitting my afternoon slump right now. Goodbye, afternoon slump. Thank you again to Magic Mind for sponsoring this video. The next tool I want to mention, and you all saw this coming, is my paper planner. Let's go over to the flat lay to check it out. Of course, you guys know how I feel about paper planners. There is something about writing out your tasks for the day that just feels so magical. It helps me remember what I have coming up and what I've gotten done so that I can have a complete picture of my life. But the specific planner I want to recommend today is the Hobonichi Weeks. This one is the Sterling Ink Common Planner, and I like this planner, but it's a little bit too big for what I need on a day-to-day basis. And this is my ride or die planner. So if I have to recommend one tool, one planner, it is this tiny little wallet-sized Hobonichi Weeks planner. I don't need a lot of space, so I really like this planner. I can fit it right in any bag that I own, and because my schedule is all backed up to my Google Calendar right now, I don't really need a larger A5 or even B6 planner. This one is B6 sized because I'm not really holding my appointments here, but this provides me a way to get the tactile experience of planning and productivity. I've talked a lot about the importance of writing out your tasks and your appointments and how that can really change your relationship with them, commit them to memory. So most of the time I'm coming in here and I'm doing my day planning, meaning I am writing out my schedule for the day and I'm writing out the tasks that I need to do for the day. And that tactile experience is really helpful in sort of piecing together my productivity routine. And bonus, this planner also has a bunch of extra blank space in the back. It has a whole notes or memo section, which means I have ample room for journaling, brainstorming, brain dumping, doodling, or anything else that I would normally use a blank notebook for. Believe me, if this planner didn't have a special back section like this, I would also be recommending you have a blank notebook as a productivity tool because it is essential for jotting down just whatever is in your brain and getting it onto paper as soon as possible so you can process it instead of holding it in your head. So this is basically everything I am looking for in a little paper planner. I'm looking for something dated, something small, and something that has these blank back pages. These three things enable me to manage my tasks, appointments, and thoughts in a really convenient little package, as well as get that tactile experience, that memory retention of my tasks and projects way better because I am writing them out. Speaking of task managers, I would be lost without things. I have talked a lot about things on my channel. You can see my default setup right here on the screen. This year in 2024, I am taking a very project-based approach to my tasks and goals, and Things is perfect for that. You can see here I have my today view with tasks that I have to do today. Some of them even have subtasks. Here are all my subtasks related to my plants, which I actually just got a ton of new plants from a friend who is moving away. So new plant mom in the building. Holler if you have tips for taking care of plants down in the comments. But basically, I also have projects here on the sidebar. So you can see right up top, I have a May road trip project. If we click into that, you can see that there are many different items underneath it that I have to do in order to go on this road trip that I'm going to be doing in May. I have to get a smog check. I have to re-register my car, which actually I have twice here, so I can just go ahead and delete that one. But I have to do all of these things before I go on my road trip, so I have it in my road trip project. And I can really easily add things like book campsite. I can then schedule tasks really easily in here. I can tag them. I have a whole tagging system for things that like what the difficulty level is, who I'm talking to about it, the location. Very sort of soft, like getting things done project management in here, and I really love it. I know a lot of you are Android users, and the closest thing that I have seen to the way I use things that is accessible to Android users is Todoist. So I have Todoist up here on the screen. I just downloaded it like literally today, so take this recommendation with a grain of salt. But it appears that you have a project focused section in here as well, and then you have all the same sidebar folders like inbox, today, upcoming. I think what Todoist has over things is natural language processing. So if I wanted to add a task, I could say re-register car tomorrow, and it would automatically schedule it for tomorrow. I also believe you can add like attachments to the task if you have a pro account. So things is just a one-time cost, but Todoist is a subscription-based model, and adding attachments to tasks is like a holy grail item that things is missing for me. So maybe I will experiment with Todoist and see how I like it, but for now I've just been poking around, and it seems like the exact reasons I like things, those are all accessible in Todoist. So if you are not an Apple user, check out Todoist. It might be what you want. As far as task managers go, I also really love Asana. Asana is a great tool. It is accessible for Android and iOS. I just use it in the browser. I use it for my work, so I can't really share any of my work tasks. All that's really sensitive information, so I'm just putting up some basic footage right now from the Asana team themselves for how Asana works. But one of the added benefits of Asana is that it is really good for team work. It is really good for projects at a huge scale, and yet you can also just use it for your own daily to-do list items. I've seen a lot of people who use Asana for personal and for larger scale work tasks and projects. And you can view projects in multiple different forms, such as in a Kanban view, in a timeline view, in a calendar view. It is seriously such a good, well thought out and thorough project, but it is quite a bit grander than Todoist or things. But it keeps my work life on lock, and I love it for that. Lately, I have also been trying to habit track better. So those of you who know this channel will know that my habit tracker history is not so good, especially with paper habit trackers. I just always fail at paper habit trackers. But whenever I am feeling myself fail at a habit tracking method, I always find myself coming back to Habitica, which is what you see here on the screen. Habitica is a habit app that enables you to track your habits while being skinned like an RPG video game. So you're using video game mechanics to get stuff done, which is really cool. It makes it so much fun, and it really helps motivate me to actually track my habits, which, as I said before, is a real challenge for me. So every time, this first one is not snoozing my alarm. So if I don't snooze my alarm, I am allowed to check the positive habit, which you can see gives me some gold and magic and experience, and I also damage a boss. But meanwhile, if I fail at, like say I use my phone in bed, I can check the negative habit, and then I lose some health and I lose some magic. There's also to-do list functionality in Habitica. I don't really use the to-do list functionality. I already said I use things. But if you want to use the to-dos, they are there. I use the to-do list column for my monthly goals. So I have the faded lists of February, which is a sort of goal terminology that I ripped from Hades, the video game. But I have a few like adventure themed goals here, which I just use as guidelines when I'm planning my day. So there's like so much you can do in here. You can buy little equipment to make your character look different. Like if I wanted my character to wear a different crown, I would just click on the crowns that I have. You can buy equipment in these shops, or you can buy potions to create pets and mounts. So there's lots of different ways that this works if you are a collector type productivity person, or if you are a person who likes video games. Really just Habitica's, I cannot sing the praises enough. I love, love, love Habitica. And it's fully accessible for Android and iOS. They do have an app, but I just use it in the browser most of the time. But it is totally free. All of the functionality that I am mentioning is completely free to use, so you don't need to pay anything at all. Plus, you can fight monsters with your party. I don't have any party members right now, and I kind of like it that way for now. But if you want to do it with friends, it's a great way to boost accountability. You can all be in here, all fighting the boss by completing
and checking off your habits.
These are the productivity tools that I use every day to keep my life functioning, and I really adore them. But what are yours? Let me know down in the comments if you have tried any of these tools or any other tools. I love to share and try new stuff. Thank you again to Magic Mind for sponsoring this video. If you guys want to check them out, remember to go to the link in my description and use my code Theory20 for a sweet discount on your first order over the next 10 days. If you are looking to make a change in your productivity system, check out this video I have right here next to my head about decluttering the tools and systems that you use so that you can have a more fully functioning system from which to work. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I love you so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, Girl Scout.